Hola, wonderful wizards. I wanted to talk to you today. I've got my love glasses on again so I can feel the love. I wanted to talk to you guys again today about astrology. There's a little saying, now I don't know who said it, it was one of the big money men, that millionaires don't use astrology but billionaires do. Personally, I always use astrology whenever I'm trying to launch a project or reach people, or I'm thinking to start a health regime, or I want to give up smoking, or any of these things, any major life-changing choice I'm making. I'm always going to look at the astrology that month to decide the best time to do it. And really big things you want to look out for in astrology, if you don't know about astrology, that I can recommend are retrograde planets. The biggest one that affects us the most, that we could be most aware of, is Mercury in retrograde. And especially when you're doing business, you never want to start a new business or new venture or sign any sort of contract during Mercury in retrograde period. And so if you're a business person of any type, you need to know about Mercury in retrograde. You need to know about moon cycles. You need to know about retrograde planets. Specifically, you need to find out about Mercury in retrograde. Another big one would be Mars in retrograde or Venus in retrograde for launching new looks or advertising campaigns or anything that would need energy behind it. These are all really important things you need to educate yourself on. Also, when it's Mars in retrograde, we can feel very depleted of energy ourselves. We need to look after our health better. We tend to get ill and run down easily. If it's Venus in retrograde, you never want to get any plastic surgery done. You never want to go to the dentist. You never want to get your hair drastically changed. You wouldn't want to go out and buy your anything that's going to be aesthetically pleasing for yourself, like a piece of jewelry, something like that. You would never buy those things during Venus in retrograde. And you'd never want to get married or engaged during Venus in retrograde. So these are just some tips of the iceberg of things that you could look into with astrology. If you don't already, maybe you do, but if you don't, I highly recommend finding out about astrology because it really does work. It's like this channel, I'm very new to YouTube. I've only just started, last May the 25th. I launched my channel because May the 25th was a brilliant day in my horoscope for long-term plans that would be very successful, particularly in social media, internet, advertising, publishing, anything that was reaching people. So I very carefully chose my date to make sure that my channel would get the best possible start off that I could give it, basically. And I have to say, I think it's worked quite well. My channel is ticking along nicely. I'm very happy that, day by day I get new subscribers and I get, great people here. I love all of my watchers and comments and all this kind of thing. I can see that, my channel is kind of becoming what I wanted it to be. It didn't just, collapse and, no one ever saw it and I didn't get any subscribers, which is one of your worst feelings, obviously, when you're starting something. You want it to be a success. So things I really recommend is using new moons to launch anything, using full moons to get rid of anything that you don't want, and looking at the retrograde planets. And for the last couple of years we've had Saturn in Sagittarius, and as we can see for the planet, that's been a very trying time, and Saturn is coming out of Sagittarius at the end of December. So be aware that at the end of December there's going to be a lot of energy shifting on the planetary level, because we're also going to have Jupiter going fully direct, Jupiter being the planet of luck and blessings and all of this kind of jovialness, good feelings. And Jupiter was retrograde as well for the last year or something like that. So it's been 2016, 2017 has had just a slew of retrograde planets, and just one thing after another, not very good astrological things going on. So I think we can all say that unless you're living in a bubble, you felt that energy. But 2018, 2019, I feel is going to be a bit better, though some astrologers disagree. They think it's not going to get better till at least 2020 and beyond. but I always like to look on the optimistic side. But anyway, not looking at the planetary thing, just looking personally. If you want, I want you guys to be successful. So if you're ever launching any kind of business, any kind of project, please make sure planets aren't retrograding. That is going to halt your progress. Please make sure you're doing it at the correct part of the moon phase, and then you will definitely reap the benefits. If you plant a seed on the new moon, the next new moon you will start seeing some big returns beginning to happen. And the more hard work you put in, obviously, the more you get back. So I can recommend a website that I use for astrology. As always, I will put the link down below. Her astrology website is astrologyzone.com. She doesn't really do like spiritual astrology, which is why I like her. I mean, I do look at some other sites that are sort of a bit more like the spiritual side and ascension or upliftment or kind of more the spiritual side of astrology. But she's just nuts and bolts. Gives you dates that are good for this, gives you dates that are bad for this, gives you the most romantic days, gives you the best business days, and yada yada yada. So yeah, I really recommend astrologyzone.com for her astrology, for planning business moves, weddings, trying to sell or buy your house, all these kind of things. Because, well, basically, as a wizard, I've really found it very beneficial. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right, well, I love you and I wish you all abundance. And as you can see, it's starting to get dark here. It suddenly went, ooh, the sun is going down beyond the horizon. Yes, it's going down, not along and across and away. It's going down. I'm just teasing you now. Well, no, it is doing that. So yeah, get on the astrology. All right, the astrology train. Choo, choo, choo. Don't miss it. See you next time, guys.